Come on, Mario, let's go! Come on, Mario! Yeah, come on, Mario! Crap! Oh, hey everyone, don't mind me, I was just playing Super Mario Bros. Deluxe. And well boys, it is summertime. Finally, the school year is over. Well, it's been over for me for like a month. But summertime is like the best time of the year. You have no school, you get to go to the pool, the beach, go to your friend's house all the time, and I'm in Florida, so summers are great here. Except for when it's hurricane season. But it's just so awesome, you don't have to go to school for 3 months. But what's another thing you can do in the summer? Oh yeah, you get to play video games all the time, and you get to go to an amusement park. We have Universal Studios, and we have Disney World. So to get in the summer vibes, we will be reviewing summer-themed games. And in this video, we're going to be reviewing a game about one of my most favorite summer activities, theme parks. And what better way to do that other than reviewing RollerCoaster Tycoon? We're actually going to be reviewing 3 games this episode, RollerCoaster Tycoon 1, RollerCoaster Tycoon 2, and RollerCoaster Tycoon 3. So yeah, this might be a pretty long review, so get comfy, grab some snacks, a drink, and let's get into the review. The first game we will be looking at today is the game that started it all, RollerCoaster Tycoon 1. But before we look at it, let's talk about the history for a brief moment. A Scottish independent game developer by the name of Chris Sawyer released a game by the title of Transport Tycoon in the summer of 1994. The game did very well, and Sawyer needed to consider what to do as a sequel for the game. The revenue of the game was used towards traveling to places in Europe and the US. And during his travels, he visited many theme parks and rode over 600 roller coasters. You may be thinking, wow, this dude ain't afraid of roller coasters at all. Well, not exactly. Sawyer said he used to actually hate roller coasters, but during his trips he began to like it. A theme park he really admired were the Six Flags theme parks. After the trip to all the theme parks, he decided to shift Transport Simulation game into a roller coaster theme park simulation game. He's had many tips from the roller coasters he has ridden, but he continued to research on roller coasters. Soon, Sawyer began to work on RollerCoaster Tycoon. He coded the game in the language of x86 assembly, which x86 assembly is a code language that really takes a wizard to understand. Well, a lot of games were coded in x86 assembly back then. Take Super Mario Bros. As an example, but RollerCoaster Tycoon is different. Chris Sawyer was the only developer, so he did this all by himself in x86. And also, RollerCoaster Tycoon is super advanced with many outstanding mechanics. But he wasn't entirely alone with the creation, only the coding he was. A man by the name of Simon Foster designed the graphics using many 3D modeling, rendering, and paint programs. And then Chris's composer, Alistair Brimble, composed all the songs and audio in the game. That was the start of RollerCoaster Tycoon. RollerCoaster Tycoon 1 and 2 were developed by Sawyer, but Frontier Developments would soon take the development of RollerCoaster Tycoon 3. We're just going to be reviewing RollerCoaster Tycoon 1, 2, and 3, since they're considered retro, since that's what this series is dedicated to. And plus, I want to make this video about 3 amazing games, because the rest of the RollerCoaster Tycoon series could say hello to the dumpster, because that's where it belongs. Now, with all that out the way, let's get to reviewing. First up, RollerCoaster Tycoon 1. Here we are on the menu screen. We have some creepy carnival type music that you would hear when Jester is chasing you down the hall at 3 AM. There are a few tabs on the screen. You have the Start New Game tab, where you pick a scenario to play. You have the Open Saved Game tab, where you continue a game you were playing. And you also have the Tutorial mode. We're gonna go ahead and start a new game. A list of scenarios will pop up, and scenarios are basically the levels in the game. Each scenario gets harder as you progress, and each scenario is unique with its landscape, its goals you have to complete, and your starting attractions and stalls. You must start with the first one, Forest Frontiers, no excuses. That one is an absolute classic. And if you don't start on that one first, I will come in your closet at night, I will jump out of there, and I will scream at you until you start playing it. You have been warned. Alright, now once you have clicked the scenario you want to play, which should be Forest Frontiers first, you'll have an objective that will pop up on the screen. Forest Frontiers' objective is to have at least 250 guests in your park at the end of October in the first year, with park rating of at least 600. But remember, each scenario has a different objective list. This one is the easiest, but it gets harder as you progress. All the land inside the fences is yours, but you can buy more land. Simply click the plot of land you want to buy, your park info will show up, and then click the Buy Land button, and click all the other land you want to buy. A plot of land costs $30 each, but you really don't need to buy land until you start running out of space. With your park, you can charge the entry fee, or you can charge the ride fee. If you charge the park entry fee, you can't charge the rides. If you charge rides, you can't charge park entry. Which if you charge park entry, that means whenever someone walks into your park, they pay you whatever you priced it at. And charging rides means that whenever a customer gets off of a ride, they have to pay. Every scenario comes with its starting rides and stalls. To get more, you need to invest in research. Simply go to the tab with a flask and choose how much funding you want to put research in for. At the start of the game, I like to put no funding on, so I don't lose money. But later on in the game, when I have a good income, I put it back to normal. But man, look at the UI in this game. Chunky gray Windows 98 style. Nowadays, people would get sick looking at this.
Only thing I get sick of looking at is your face.
Jester, I swear, if you make fun of me one more time...
What are you gonna do, Chris? Huh?
I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put Sergeant Jameson's zapper right to your head. How'd you get that? It was right there.
I am Speed, baby.
Hey! What are you doing with my zapper, Private?
Okay, sorry, Sarge, I'll put it down.
Put it on the wall. You don't just drop it on the floor.
Yes, Sarge.
You do not treat my zapper like garbage or drop it on the floor. You got it, Private?
Yes, Sergeant.
Good. Because if you do, I swear, you will have a painful day playing Math Grand Prix on the Atari.
Yes, Sergeant.
Commotion. I'm trying to get some sleep.
Sarge, what was that for?
God, sorry. I thought it was another Nazi crowd.
Whatever.
Just let me review my game in peace. Bring him to the hospital or something. Before we start making our park, we have our Finance tab. This shows us all the money that you're making in your park. There are lots of things that will affect your revenue, which you can see on the side of the window. Ride construction, ride running costs, land purchases, landscaping, park You start off with a $10,000 loan from the bank, and you need to be able to pay off that loan or else the bank will start taking money away from you. Just get a steady income and then pay off your loan slowly. So as you are building the park, always come back to see your income. You don't want to be stuck in debt. It can become hard to get out of it. You should only take a loan when you absolutely need it. Now, what's a park without a merry-go-round? I'll tell you what, a crappy one. If you don't have a merry-go-round in your park, then it ain't no park.
Whoa, man, uncool. An amusement park ain't one without a Ferris wheel, you gotta have one.
But we don't have a Ferris wheel unlocked yet.
Well, too bad, get one.
But I don't even have it.
Then research it.
How about you research how to use your only 3 brain cells?
I will, because I don't even know how to use one of them.
Anyways, let's just get our first ride down. You also gotta make an entrance and exit for the ride, so the customers can get to it and exit it. But man, making the queue line paths can be very annoying, because whenever you're building and the queue line comes to a path, it will connect to the path in front of it or next to it. And this means you can't build the line any further, it just disconnects. Which is extremely annoying, since the only way to get around this is to delete the path except where you want the line to connect. Doing this wastes money, and I'm as broke as an Atari 5200 controller. Well now, let's build a roller coaster, which is the main part of this game. The physics of making roller coasters are absolutely amazing in this game. It's not just building tracks, it's also adding chains to get the coasters over inclines, calculating the height and speed to get a roller coaster over a track going up without a chain, and being careful about your spendings so you don't run out of money. Because making roller coasters is expensive in this game, so not the best idea to start with one. But I don't care, Force Frontiers is extremely easy. If you lose in this scenario, you really suck at video games. It's like losing to Glass Joe in Punch-Out! Anyways, you also have to be careful about the intensity of the ride. The intensity rating is the number that shows how intense a ride is. Anything above the intensity rating of 10 will stop guests from wanting to ride the coaster. A good intensity rating is below 10. Things that contribute to the intensity rating of the ride is the amount of drops, inversions, which are the parts of the track that turns the rider sideways or upside down, the speed of the roller coaster, and the G-forces on the rider. Yes, the game is this advanced. It's able to calculate the G-forces on riders. Also lateral and vertical G's. G's are basically the gravitational force on a certain part of your body. There's also a nausea rating for rides. Rides that have high drops and more sharp and close turns tend to have a high nausea rating. Guests have either a high or low nausea tolerance. Guests with low nausea tolerance usually get off a ride walking slow and say they're sick. You also see their face turn green and then they puke on your pathways.
Not on my watch, nobody, and I mean nobody, will puke in your park. Get out of my way, Chris. Yeah, there we go. He can't puke when he's dead and drowning in the water.
God!
Go away, Jester. You just made my park rating go down by killing an innocent kid. To know if someone is nauseous, you can look at them and tell. Like I said 10 seconds ago. Or you can also click on the person, and at the corner you can see their current mood. This guy is nauseous, which brings me to my next topic, the visitor's moods. All the moods in the game are very happy, happy, satisfied, neutral, disappointed, grumpy, very grumpy, furious, tired, very tired, unwell, sick, and very sick. Pretty big list. The emotion you always want to aim for are satisfied, happy, and very happy. It's alright to get the sick guests, because right after they barf, they'll most of the times go back to the mood they were at before they were sick. The emotions you don't want to have are disappointed, grumpy, and very grumpy. Whoever leaves the park with these emotions drops your park rating down. A mood you really don't want a visitor to have is furious mood. Visitors with this mood will vandalize your park. They'll vandalize it like when Jester offered Mickey Mouse a high five at Disney World and he didn't even get a high five. In this game, you're also gonna want to hire staff. The staff members in this game are handymen, which empty litter bins, sweep pathways, mow grass, and water plants. You also have a mechanic, which inspects rides and fixes rides when they break down. Yes, rides do break down in the game. You also have security guards, which prevent furious visitors from vandalizing your parks when they're nearby. And the last staff member is the mascot. These staff members entertain the guests and raise the park rating a little. The mascot can either be a panda bear, an elephant, or a tiger. Each staff member has a wage per month. Dang, $35 per month to be a handyman.
Jesus, is this dude starving to death? Does he have a house? Or does he just sleep on benches in the park? I feel bad for this guy.
After like about 30 minutes or so of playing the game, you want to add some food and drink stalls. You should wait that long because guests aren't really that hungry when they enter the park, and it can take a while for them to get hungry. So that helps you save some money to put into some rides.
Oh, I have an idea. Why don't we call a burger stand Diabetic Surprise?
Jester, you are a diabetic surprise.
Well, yeah, you're right. I'm like Eric Cartman. I can't stop eating, you know.
The graphics are very amazing. Everything is just so detailed. Even today it looks good. That doesn't really go for everyone though. Everything is also in this isometric viewpoint, and we had a bad history with that in Paperboy. But you know, it actually works great with RollerCoaster Tycoon 1. It's not like you have to aim at anything. Oh yeah, if you're having trouble getting guests in your park before your objective is over, you can start an advertisement campaign. Simply go under finances and then go into the marketing slot. You can advertise for multiple things. I usually advertise the park or a particular ride. They all have a fee per week, and you can select how long you want to market your park for. You should also pay attention to the weather. Add a hat stall for if it's too hot outside, and a shirt stand for if it's too cold outside. And here's a little trick you can do. When it rains, guests will do whatever it takes to keep themselves dry when it rains. Even if that means paying $20 for an umbrella. Yeah, you can max out the price for an umbrella when it rains. And guess what? The guests will pay for it. So guess what that means? It means that you got more money coming into your pocket. As you can see, it just started raining, and we're already making a crap ton of money. So yeah, that's about all there is to RollerCoaster Tycoon 1. Now all you have to do is keep expanding your park, make some more rides, and reach your objective, which I did right here. You can either move on to the next scenario, or continue making your current theme park, which I usually like doing.
Now that we finished RollerCoaster Tycoon 1, let's move on to RollerCoaster Tycoon 2. Tycoon 1 and RollerCoaster Tycoon 2 are pretty much the same thing. RollerCoaster Tycoon 2 just has a few different other features. Like, picture this. RollerCoaster Tycoon 1 is just a plain hamburger, just meat, just buns. RollerCoaster Tycoon 2, on the other hand, is a cheeseburger with ketchup, mustard, lettuce, tomato, ew, I hate tomato, onions. So all I'm gonna do is talk about what's different in this game, because if I talk about everything, that would waste my time, because it's the same as Tycoon 1.
RollerCoaster Tycoon 2 was released in October of 2002, under development of Chris Sawyer, once again. Like I said, RollerCoaster Tycoon 2 has a few more things to offer. RollerCoaster Tycoon 2 has more and new scenarios. RollerCoaster Tycoon 1 has expansion packs you can buy to unlock new scenarios, but these scenarios in RollerCoaster Tycoon 2 are different. The scenarios now have categories. You have beginner parks, challenging parks, expert parks, real parks, which are based off of real world parks, but not complete, and those parks are also based off of Six Flags parks. And you also have other parks, where you build your own Six Flags parks. RollerCoaster Tycoon 2 has more stuff to decorate and design your park with also, allowing you to spread your wings of creativity even further. But there's a slight functionality difference. You're able to rise up rides and scenery with the shift key. You weren't able to do this in Tycoon 1. Also, the GUI is a bit different, as you can tell. The tabs are also now split into categories.
You may have noticed how on RollerCoaster Tycoon 1 there's no sandbox mode, which basically means you're free to do whatever and have unlimited money. RollerCoaster Tycoon 2 doesn't either,
but it has something similar. Scenario editors. Scenario editor is basically a mode where you get to practice doing things like building roller coasters, decorating parks, and all of that stuff. I mainly use it for practicing building my roller coaster designs. Also, I'm gonna mention the controls of Tycoon 1 and 2 now. There's too many controls to go over, so I'm just gonna say the main controls. You can also change and edit the controls, but I like the preset controls. To move around the park, you can either move the cursor to the direction you want to go, or hold the right mouse button and drag around. You can also use the arrow keys. Left mouse button is obviously to select things, and to place an object. Z is to rotate around an object. The enter key allows you to change the view of your park. And yeah, those are basically all the main controls. But trust me, there's more controls to that. The others are mainly just shortcuts to open tabs. That's really all there is to RollerCoaster Tycoon 2. It's basically RollerCoaster Tycoon 1, but with a few more things to offer. Now, let's move on to the next RollerCoaster Tycoon that is different from the other two. Introducing RollerCoaster Tycoon Pickle Rick Edition.
I'm joking, RollerCoaster Tycoon 3.
Alright, RollerCoaster Tycoon 3, the last game of this video, and also the first RollerCoaster Tycoon game not developed by Chris Sawyer, and also the final good game of the series. RollerCoaster Tycoon 3 was released in October of 2004, 2 years after RollerCoaster Tycoon 2. Like I said, Tycoon 3 was not developed by Chris Sawyer, it was developed by Frontier Developments, since they got the rights to make it. But why didn't Chris Sawyer develop the game? Well, a good reason. Chris Sawyer understood the future RollerCoaster Tycoon games would have to be in 3D, but he couldn't get all excited for it, so he pushed the development over to Frontier Developments. However, he did serve as a consultant, since Chris understood the magic of this game, and could make sure that magic followed along, giving expert advice. RollerCoaster Tycoon 3 is of course a 3D roller coaster building and park management game. The 3D nature makes building a whole lot easier, and definitely makes objects and rides look amazing.
Man, RollerCoaster Tycoon went through changes, and after those changes, it looked a whole lot beautiful. But you'll always look ugly.
That does it! I warned you!
Consider yourself lucky, Jester.
Right back at you. If that no wasn't there, you'd be dead in about 10 minutes.
Yeah, you're right. I would have been killed. Alright, the main game is career mode. You start off with multiple scenarios to choose from, and can unlock more after the amount of scenarios you have completed. When you start a scenario, your objective list will pop up, but you will also notice how it says Apprentice, Entrepreneur, and Tycoonist. These are all basically the game modes, and each gets harder as you progress. You can only start as Apprentice first. Once you complete it, you can move on to Entrepreneur. After you complete Entrepreneur, you can move on to Tycoonist. Very simple.
Chris, you'll always be my apprentice in reviewing games.
Jester, you don't even know how to review a game.
Oh yeah? Yes I do.
Alright, do a review of Super Mario Bros. On the NES.
Give me that. With pleasure. Yo, what's up? It's me, Jester, here, and we're gonna be reviewing Super Mario Bros. On the Nintendo GameCube Entertainment System 64 color. So yeah. Okay, that's Mario, and he walks, he jumps on people. As you can see, he takes drugs, he's on the shrooms, he keeps committing murders because, you know, the story of the game is that, shows that, the bricks are actually toads. Okay, we got a fire flower. Yeah, we shoot people. It's messed up. Did you know Mario is actually a drag queen? Yeah, it's pretty crazy when I found that out. Hold up, is there any... I can't go back, that's stupid. What? How'd I die? This game sucks. I give it a 2 out of 10. This game is trash. Don't buy this game.
This game is just so lively. Everything is colorful, everything is bright, and you can see all the families in this game.
Creepy polygon families that want to eat your entire family.
Yeah, people actually look different from one another in the game. RollerCoaster Tycoon 1 is just an army of twins that want to take over the entire city. Tycoon 3 has so many new features to add. You have actual family groups instead of little kids just running off by themselves. You can make fireworks shows with this firework editor that goes along with a song. And you can discipline staff members for Christ's sakes. Oh, janitor hates his job now. You're fired from your job. We only want people who love it here. And the best in-game feature of this game is the ability to actually be able to ride your rides. Well, not literally, I mean. Duh. But you can enter Coaster Cam and see what your ride is like. And it's actually really amazing and looks awesome. Man, it makes me wonder how it would look on RollerCoaster Tycoon 1. I changed my mind. Well, time to ride these rides. RollerCoaster Tycoon 3 still has the same gameplay as the first two games. You still have finances, staff members, etc., etc. Did he really just need to press a button to fix a smoking ride? And you also have a park inspector, who makes sure guests are enjoying their time in your park. They also alert you about broken down rides, or problematic rides. Like, check out this screenshot of him checking out a bear's butt. That reminds me, I have the normal RollerCoaster Tycoon 3. If you want the best experience you can of this game, get either the Platinum Edition of this game, or the complete version. There's a lot of more features to these editions. You can make pool complexes, a zoo, and even more rides which can include water slides. There's other features to the other versions of RollerCoaster Tycoon 3, but there's some other in-game features that I forgot to show you about the regular version. A really helpful feature is the autocomplete button. Basically, when you're building a roller coaster and don't know how to complete it, you can just click this button and the game will finish the coaster for you. It's very, very helpful. You can make your own families in this game. Yes, it's kinda strange but also kinda cool, I guess. You can customize people in the game in your family group.
And you can customize them because, well, we know Mommy and Daddy love each other very much.
Whoa, jeez man, calm down. We don't need to get into that. You also have a tutorial mode, and I mean it, an actual tutorial mode. RollerCoaster Tycoon 1 and 2 don't really teach you in theirs, but RollerCoaster Tycoon 3 actually takes you step by step on how to do certain things in the game, like building a roller coaster, which allows younger players to actually being able to understand the game. Arguably, the best feature of the game is actually having a sandbox mode. Yes, They finally did it. They finally added a sandbox mode. Finally! You get to make your own park without having any worry of running out of money. This feature is really great if you're not into actual strategy and critical thinking. Also, if you just want to be able to make the park without having to wait for more money to come into your bank, which happens a lot. It's an amazing feature, and I can just spend hours on sandbox mode. It's really relaxing and entertaining. I don't want to go too deep into the game since, again, it plays the same as the first and second of RollerCoaster Tycoon. And plus, I don't want to sound too much like a game manual or an informational essay. RollerCoaster Tycoon 3 is considered the best of the series, which I agree with, but RollerCoaster Tycoon 2 is my favorite because I love the 2D view of the game, and it's just so vibrant. But RollerCoaster Tycoon 3 is my second favorite. RollerCoaster Tycoon 1, I'm sorry, but they outdid you. You're still great. Now that the review of these 3 games is out of the way, let's get into the scoring. For those of you who are new to this series, here's the score system. The graphics are scored from 0 to 10, music and audio 0 to 20, storyline 0 to 25, gameplay 0 to 30, and controls 0 to 35. This all adds up to 120 points total. We'll start off with RollerCoaster Tycoon 1. I give the graphics for RollerCoaster Tycoon 1 a 9 out of 10. I really love the graphics. They really look vibrant and beautiful. The designer, Simon Foster, is really great with digital artworking. Everything is just beautiful. What is there not to love about the graphics? The puke? Though sometimes building an isometric viewpoint can be a little bit annoying. Mainly only just building more compact roller coasters that go under each other. But it's really not that bad. This viewpoint does work with some games, Paperboy definitely not being one of them. All in all, it has really amazing graphics. For its time, of course. It can't really compete with GTA 5. I give the music and audio for RollerCoaster Tycoon 1 a 15 out of 20. I like the theme park music, but sometimes it can annoy you to where you just want to turn it off. I watch some Let's Plays on RollerCoaster Tycoon, and the people I watch who plays it usually turns it off. However, it all depends on what you think of the music. Everyone has a different taste. The sound effects are also just wonderful. The change of taking the roller coaster up to the roller coaster falling.
Oh, don't forget the sound of screaming children.
I give the story for RollerCoaster Tycoon a 0 out of 25. Why? Well, how do I put this? There is none. However, what could you do for a storyline on a simulation game? So don't let that affect how you see this game. Though, I can't be biased, so I have to score it to how my scoring system is. I give the gameplay and features of RollerCoaster Tycoon a 25 out of 30. Everything is great about the gameplay, from the building to the actual management. You need to hire staff to take care of your park with you, and also shops for customers to buy food and other stuff, and some decorations for your park. You also have your park rating to pay attention to. Also, when you're building a coaster, it's not just about placing tracks. It's about very simple calculations to make sure that the roller coaster has the right speed, and also making sure it's not too intense. Which leads me to a small problem. The game is not that great for very young kids to get into. I remember first playing this when I was about 7. I don't remember ever checking the finance tab. And I remember when I was playing, I wasn't able to build because I was in debt. And I didn't know how to get out of it. And I'm not even sure I was aware that I was in it. The game is rated E for everyone, while I believe it should have been E for everyone 10 and up. And I also think that the stats of the ride are too strict. Sometimes the ride doesn't even look intense at all. But somehow, it's at an intensity rating of 14. I've seen rides definitely more scary than what I've built on this game. And I have been on King Ka, which has a 90-degree drop and goes super fast. It used to be the tallest roller coaster in the world, and many people ride it, and no one rides my barely intense looking wooden coaster. Anyways, gameplay is great, but not the best game for kids under 10. I give the controls for RollerCoaster Tycoon a 35 out of 35. That's all thanks to having a keyboard, a mouse, and the ability to actually customize the controls if you don't like the layout. But I think the preset layout is great. All in all, with everything said, The overall score for RollerCoaster Tycoon is an 84 out of 120, and the percentage is 70%, giving it the letter grade of C. The reason it's low is because it has no storyline, but since it's a simulation game, it really shouldn't affect the enjoyment you have with the game. Though, story matters when it comes to other games, like Legend of Zelda. Now, on to RollerCoaster Tycoon 2. I give the graphics and visual appearance of RollerCoaster Tycoon 2 an 8 out of 10. I meant to also say this for RollerCoaster Tycoon 1, but you see, I mistyped. But it's the same as RollerCoaster Tycoon 1's graphics. Don't want to repeat what I said. That would waste my time and yours. I give the music and audio of RollerCoaster Tycoon a 15 out of 20. Again, the same as last time. I give the story for RollerCoaster Tycoon 2 a 20 out of 25. Yes, this one actually has a story. Well, a slight story you could say. And it's for every different scenario. It's a slight story saying you inherited a certain land and have to make an amusement park out of it. I give the gameplay and features of RollerCoaster Tycoon 2 a 28 out of 30. Only thing different is the amount of decorations you have, and the ability to raise decoration pieces and rides. I give the controls for RollerCoaster Tycoon 2 a 35 out of blah blah blah, same thing. With everything added up, we get the total score of 106 out of 20, with the percentage of 89% and the letter grade of a B+. Now, on to the final game, RollerCoaster Tycoon 3. I give the graphics and visual appearance of RollerCoaster Tycoon 3 a 10 out of 10. Well, it's in 3D. Everything looks amazing. The puke still of course looks like puke, but it's so much easier to get around the park, and you can zoom even closer up to things. Modeling land is also even better. Hold the mouse button on the land you want to rise, and it will go up beautifully, so majestically. There's also very beautiful lighting in the game that give your screen and face a glow. The graphics also give you the experience to be able to ride roller coasters, though edges can be a little sharp sometimes, but it ain't too bad. I give the music and audio of RollerCoaster Tycoon 3 a 20 out of 20. It's not theme park style music, it's regular music. I love the music. It makes playing the game really relaxing. But if you don't like the music choices, you can actually upload some music you want to listen to. I think Ear Exploder 9000 is a perfect choice of music for this game. The sound effects are also amazing. Well, it's the same thing like I said with RollerCoaster Tycoon 1. I give the storyline of RollerCoaster Tycoon 3 a 20 out of 25. I don't know if this counts as a story or not. I think it does. You basically are told to make a theme park and make it be the most talked about park in town. I'm guessing the boss said this since you're an apprentice. You beat Critic. Does this count as a story to you? Let me know. I give the gameplay and features of RollerCoaster Tycoon a 30 out of 30. There are many new features to RollerCoaster Tycoon. Fireworks, songs, new rides, the ability to be able to ride your own ride, make your own families, an actual tutorial mode, a sandbox mode, and many other features. The goal of the game and what you do in the game is the same, but new functions are added. The game is also less strict on the roller coaster stats, a big step up, and unlike RollerCoaster Tycoon 1 and 2, it's easier for kids under the age of 10 to play the game, since there is a sandbox mode in the game and also an actual tutorial mode. I give the controls for RollerCoaster Tycoon 3 a 35 out of 35, same as I said with RollerCoaster Tycoon 1 and 2. With everything added up, we get the total score of 115 out of 20, with a percentage of 95% and the letter grade of an A. So yeah everyone, that concludes the review of RollerCoaster Tycoon 1, 2, and 3. Sadly, those were the only good games of the franchise. After the 2004 release of RollerCoaster Tycoon 3, they took a long break. But then they came back in 2012 with a 3DS version called RollerCoaster Tycoon 3D. It wasn't that great, but I still kinda want it, just because I want to see how it runs, and test it for myself. Plus, it would be a nice piece for the collection, I guess. And then 2 years later, in 2014, they actually made a mobile version. Now, when I was younger, I actually used to play the mobile version a lot. But the thing is, now that I look at it today, it isn't really that great. The mechanics suck, and it's just a cash grab. Like, they overcharge in cryptocurrencies. And I haven't played that game since like 2016-15. Though I did have quite a great park. I had like every ride unlocked. And then they came out with RollerCoaster Tycoon World, which is honestly trash. Everything is clunky and the mechanics are still kind of bad. But a good release that Chris Sawyer actually took part in was RollerCoaster Tycoon Classic. It wasn't the release that everyone wanted, but it was basically RollerCoaster Tycoon 1, but a mobile version. It's actually really fun. I want to kind of buy it on my phone for whenever I'm in the car. And then in my opinion, the worst RollerCoaster Tycoon of this series is RollerCoaster Tycoon Story. It's another mobile game, but it's one of those puzzle swipe game things. And then the latest release was RollerCoaster Tycoon Adventure. It's actually on the Switch, and it's not great at all. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the review. I recommend you guys taking a look at these games if you have the chance. It's really fun, and I love playing it. So yeah, I'm gonna take a 3-day break, and I'm gonna be playing some RollerCoaster Tycoon. But then, once that break's over, I gotta get back to work on this series. So yeah, I'll see you guys later.
Fellow Retro Gaming Critic, or Retro Gamer Chris, or should I say, Christopher V. It is I, Lester. You may remember me from your video on Monster House for the GameCube. That was me in the closet, and I have been spying on you since that video has happened. I have gained information about you, and more about my brother Jester. I have also learned more about Sergeant Janus, and more about the old-ass man. You also may have saw the Grim Reaper from your house in the previous episode. One of my workers have made him, and we have done so to try to end you, the old-ass man, Sergeant Janus, and most of all, Jester. I have tried to kill Jester before, but I couldn't. You may be wondering why I am after him. Well, it's because I simply don't like him. He's my brother, and I had to live with him for my whole life when I was a kid. And I hate him because how annoying and stupid he is. And I'm also after you and his dad, the old-ass man. I don't like him. I don't like the old man either, because he made me deal with Jester's crap all throughout my childhood. That I am also after you two, his best and most loyal friends. You guys are like family to me. Goodbye. Expect more video game attacks in the future of your series. You will eventually come to an end in all of your friends.
No! I thought he was gone!
Wait, is this true?
Yes, it is. You know how I am when I'm serious.
Jester, why haven't you told us about this?
Because me and the old man thought we got rid of him hundreds of years ago.
So, this brother of yours is back?
Seems so. And why didn't you tell me about the clown in your closet?
Thought it wasn't anything serious, he just gave me a game. Thought he was just helping me out.
Well, I guess now we have to wait for what he has in store for us. We have to be ready. And we have to be prepared. Well, you don't have to be hyper aware. Don't let that be the only thing on your mind. We've dealt with him before. Me and the old man. We know how he thinks, so just don't freak out, okay?
Well, yeah, I trust you. But I'm not gonna let this affect any of my reviews. We can stick through this.
Good to hear. Lester only has one worker. It's a Goomba. So, he's not really gonna be one attacking us. The only problem is, he makes a thing that come to life in the game. So we'll never have to see him. It's only Lester. But now we gotta go alert the others. And we have to show them the message.
Yeah, let's go. We need to get this out fast.